We now move to the Center for Higher Education from the state of Ohio. And Wayne White and Sarita Gattuso are here. I hope, Sarita, that was right on both counts. Good.
Good morning. The Ohio Appalachian Center for Higher Education is a unique consortium of 10 public colleges and universities established to increase the educational attainment of Appalachian Ohio, a largely rural, low-wealth region where the college-going rate has historically been about half the national average. A 1992 study, Access and Success, delineated several barriers that keep so many Appalachians from going to college. Low self-esteem was identified as the most frequent reason. In response, the Ohio General Assembly established the OACHE, and the consortium began offering low-cost grants to K-12 schools in 1993. These access grants are awarded on a competitive basis, and grantee schools serving over 7,800 students implement numerous ongoing activities that help students and their families see college as an option for them. According to an independent evaluation in 2000, 77% of the 49 schools funded up to that point increased their college-going rates by an average of 16%. For example, Southern Local in Meigs County, one of the poorest schools in Ohio, has had 4 consecutive years of college-going rates over 80%, with a high of 92. Swiss Hills Career Center hit 57%, an impressive achievement for a vocational school. In addition to increasing college-going rates, our grantees have seen some unanticipated benefits. Newcomerstown High School found that the number of students taking the ACT tripled from 1993, while concurrently increasing the average composite score, and found that attendance was up and discipline problems down. Newcomerstown also found that students attaining a 2.5 GPA or better jumped from 42% to 64%. OACHE also awards access grants to member institutions which provide programs, resources, and support to K-12 schools throughout the region, serving 23,000 students. Significantly, our member institutions have stayed true to the concept of promoting participation in college, any college, not just their own. One of the keys to OACHE success is our access projects build capacity directly within the schools rather than relying on an external service provider. Our partner schools own the vision, and the competitive nature of our grants helps foster the total school buy-in that ensures long-term success beyond the period of OACHE funding. Another feature that differentiates the OACHE from many other fine access programs is our philosophy that students must first come to the realization they can go to college. Although scholarships are important, all the scholarships in the world will never motivate a student who does not see him or herself as college material.
The OACHE program is now being successfully replicated in 5 other Appalachian states. The first center, the West Virginia Access Center for Higher Education, opened in 1998. We implement the OACHE model by offering competitive grants to schools in West Virginia. As Executive Director, I'm pleased to report current Access Project schools have increased college-going rates an average of 37%. With assistance from OACHE and under contract with the Appalachian Regional Commission, I'm privileged to provide training and oversight to 4 other replication centers. In addition, others are now seeking assistance in replicating all or part of the OACHE model. Wayne and I recently traveled to the state of Maine to assist in creating a new college access program for the Melmac Education Foundation. We'll soon be traveling to Montana to present the model to representatives of Indian reservations at their request. Closer to home, a new college access network in Cincinnati is studying the OACHE model. Their emphasis also is on K-12 college partnerships. Current replication centers are proving the OACHE model is transferable to other areas of Appalachia. We and others outside the region are confident the model will work in other parts of the country. As Appalachians who overcame many barriers to higher education, Wayne and I know firsthand the significance and the power of lifelong learning. It's been my sincere privilege to lead the replication effort in West Virginia, and I'm thrilled about its potential to help others. What better feeling than to see that sparkle in the eyes of students when they, for the first time, realize that they too can go to college. Thank you.
Thank you. Carl.
The results you've had sort of across the board have been extremely impressive, and actually, from my perspective, also exceptionally heartwarming. But I note in last year, about a third of the projects didn't report or reported zero or maybe less increased college-going rates. And I wonder, what is it about the projects and the sites that produce success, and what is it that produces failure or no success? And the third that didn't show any increase, is it a theme that you see going through that makes those sites not work, or is it something less explainable?
First of all, the grants are for a 2-year period, and so the first year it's not unusual that we don't see that dramatic increase that we'd like to see that normally comes along in the second year. Having said that, there are certain variables. We are seeking an individual in each of those project schools who has some ideas, would like to try them out, would like a few dollars, in our case from Ohio, $8,000, to pay for those projects and activities, network all of the school together for that total school buy-in, and then move them forward. Sarita may have something to add to that.
We have found, and again, to reiterate what Wayne stated, it depends on the individual at the school and their burning desire to help students. Sometimes the coordinator of the grant is a person that the grant has been assigned to. We have learned from past experience that that person has to be very enthusiastic and just have that burning, passionate desire. In one of our replication projects in Mississippi, we found one individual. He was willing to be a part of the program. He was the coordinator. And when we did a site visit, we transferred that responsibility to another teacher within the building, and she was so excited. The program coordinator that we alleviated his duties, he was very thankful that we had sort of fired him, even though he didn't get paid, but he was still willing to work the project. It's just a matter of finding the leader within that building.
Now that you've had a track record of several years, are you able to intervene? Can you detect early warning signs that a particular site is not working because of the identified leader and intervene early on to replace that person?
There are certain indicators. In our model, as well as the replication projects, we do a site visit at some point throughout the year where they're asked to delineate the various activities that they have done, the date that they've done, and evidence of total school buy-in. So we see the display in the hallway of the students who are going on to college. We see the plan in the counselor's office where each student really has to decide and say, not out in a public area, but privately to that counselor, this is what I'm going to do. We hear the principal saying over the intercom system, look at the number who are going to college in our school. We talk to the bus driver who says, I'm so proud of you students when they get on to college, instead of saying, well, no one in your family has ever gone to college. I'm not sure why you're going. And the English teacher who says, I'm going to sign you an essay on the cost of college in the area. advantage in lifetime income in college, and I'm going to grade that. In those programs that are really moving forward immediately, you can see that total school buy-in and everyone supportive, and you can just see the uplifting that comes from the students who, for the first time, don't see colleges for a cousin off in an affluent area or another region, but these people who focused on hard work, honesty, dependability, patriotic individuals now are beginning to focus on education as a better quality of life for themselves and their family.
Susan Schwab.
Many of the principal examples that you've given in terms of replication and where you've had your successes obviously have been rural. I'm curious about the extent to which you've done some thinking or had some experience or anticipate replication in urban settings.
We would love that. We believe that the barriers of low self-esteem, lack of role models, availability of good paying jobs that did not require high educational attainment are common throughout certain populations in this country, certainly including those on Indian reservations. We've never had the opportunity, as you have said, to compare that to urban areas. We would very much like to do that, and Sarita may want to add to that as well.
I agree with Wayne. We feel that it can be replicated in other areas of the country. I am a product of that low self-esteem. I did not return to school until I was in my 30s. Sometimes we think in Appalachia that we're just a little less intelligent than others, but that's not true.
Were you reached by this program, Sarita? I'm curious about that. Were you personally reached by this program? You were not.
No, I was
but
not.
You from your own personal experiences, that's part of your passion.
From my own personal experience, from mine closures in West Virginia. Thank you.
Ed Dorn.
I want to join Carl in commending the program. It is heartwarming. It's certainly something that we could learn from and perhaps apply in certain parts of rural Texas. I'm thinking of the Valley in particular. Wonder if you'll say a bit more about the follow-through or sustainment effort. You're now getting more kids to take an interest in college. You're providing them assistance once they get there. But what we're finding in a lot of Texas universities is that sustaining people through college takes a bit more, a bit of extra effort on occasion. Can you say what's happening at that end?
We get asked that question quite a bit, and we are looking at a retention model right now. We think that the same barriers that prevent our students from enrolling in college are the same barriers that cause them to leave.
Well, we've been working with Jefferson Community College, one of our member institutions, and early indicators are that it can be done. You have to be very persistent. You almost have to be very assertive, and you have to follow up on these students, catch them on the sidewalk, and they don't accept how did school go today fine. You say, well, how's this class going? How's that class going? And in fact, we have, although we're not charged with retention, we're very much interested. We have submitted letters of inquiry to various foundations. We submitted recently a FIPSI grant. Now, I would tell you today we didn't win, but I'll tell you today we'll be back. And it is critical, not just in Appalachia, but across this nation, that we not only have people that reach their potential, we must find ways for various reasons to keep them in college, let them get that 2-year degree, and then move them on to the 4-year to benefit not only them, but our country. And we thank you very much.
Thank you. Bill Klinger.
Actually, Ed Orn has asked my question. I was interested in what sort of steps you were taking to sort of have long-range evaluation of the effectiveness of the program. But I think you've answered it.
But, David Osborne.
When students go away to college, the chances that they'll leave home and go work somewhere else in the country go up exponentially. Do you worry about sort of brain drain, about succeeding in helping individuals, but not helping the region?
Not really. But your statements are right on target. They're exactly right. And we have suffered from Appalachian, Ohio, and the state of West Virginia and the other states that are partially within the Appalachian region of what many people would describe as our brightest and best going, and instead of saying going away to college, we have a lot of sayings, so we say they go off to college. and they often don't come back. But it's our position on that. That is their choice. But we also realize that given that circumstances, it is our responsibility to address the needs of those who are going to stay with us. Those are probably because of maybe a little low self-esteem, maybe because of a fallback to the agrarian society that used to be in our area that kept the families close together. But what we're finding is, in the case of Newcomers Town, that although those who are going away to college remains about the same, they're going to Miami, they're going to the Ohio States, they're not coming back, at least not for a few years. But the large increase, our target group of students in the middle who have some ability and don't know it, those individuals are going to community colleges and technical colleges nearby, and in general, sir, they are staying home.
Private Jessica Lynch. Word has it that she is one of the products of your program.
Yes, we are happy to say that Jessica Lynch attended Wirt County High School, and she was a part of one of our programs. We are so happy that she is back home and safe, and we have, hopefully if her health has improved, we're going to honor her at our conference in October in Lewisburg, West Virginia. But yes, she joined the military so she could become an elementary teacher.
So she's a walking example of the kind of person you've been reaching.
Yes, sir.
I think that says it all. Wayne White and Sarita got